Hey folks, in my last video I showed you how to make a Zelda Tears of the Kingdom paper computer game. But it turns out Tears of the Kingdom is a really big game with lots of different kinds of experiences to do, and that means there's more than one way to make a Zelda Tears of the Kingdom paper computer game. In fact, there's lots of ways. So I thought of an idea for a different way to make a Zelda Tears of the Kingdom game, so let's try and do that today. So once again, I'm going to start by taking my piece of paper and I am going to fold it over and yeah. Alright, so this is going to be my cover screen. I'm going to call this one Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, colon. So for our cover, I'm just going to draw like sort of, I don't know, one of these like kind of sky islands. Kind of like juts out into the sky. There's like maybe there's like a wall over here with like some stone work. As you see those on the islands in Tears of the Kingdom a little bit. We're gonna give this a little bit of, you know, three-dimensionality. Maybe some like plants. This is an old, like, you know, sort of abandoned flying island. There's like sort of, you know, some places inside over here. I'm just gonna put like Link's hat, like his iconic hat, just to be sort of like a symbolic thing, just for like the cover, like as if he fell off and like, and yeah, we're gonna put some, you know, clouds over here in the background. So, you know, this is a sky island. Maybe there's like a bird or three. And yeah, I think we have a cover. So basically the idea of this game is that Link is just falling. He's falling from one of the sky islands and he's trying to get to a specific place on the ground and he doesn't have enough stamina to do it. Now the reason for this is because I thought it would be like a fun little challenge. Basically in this game, Link is just falling. So I'm just gonna start by, you know, just drawing Link, like, you know, falling. So just gonna draw a really simple Link. Once again, as I said in the last video, the art really doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect, you know? You can just like, you know, do whatever you can and I don't know, I'm doing a terrible job. But once again, the art doesn't really matter that much at all. Let's give him like, you know what, let's give him a tunic. This is gonna be like his belt. And these will be boots. Okay, so I think we have our basic like Link. He's falling. Now, the goal is that you have to reach Hyrule Castle, right? Like, so there's like a ledge over here, turret, and there's like a ledge over here that you want to reach. And there's like, you know, this gloom stuff coming out of it, you know, because like in the game, the castle is like floating because this gloom stuff is like pushing it up above the ground. So, like maybe, I don't know, put a little like window there for effect. And basically, let's see, the landscape is gonna be like here, I think. So here's like the you know, horizon. But, you know, Tears of the Kingdom, there's lots of little things. You can put like some hills here to give it a sense of like meaning. Maybe there's one of those little like towers that you can find throughout Hyrule. Maybe there's like, you know, a river winding its way past. Some more hills, and maybe the river goes past the hills that way. You know, it's just like, you know, just like a lot going on in the background of this game. You know, like maybe put some like mountainous stuff and hills in the background. Maybe a large mountain over here. Put some squiggles on the mountain to show it's like kind of jagged. I don't know, you know, put a little Ginkus on the mountain because, you know, that's just like kind of my tradition. You know, in landscapey scenes like this, just put a little, you know, and just like you know, I don't know, maybe, you know, some ruins over here with maybe like a little chest, and you know, I don't know, maybe like one of those big skull bokoblin camps. Let's see, this river should continue that way. I think we have a pretty decent landscape for now. So yeah, basically the idea is that Link is falling. We're gonna draw his stamina meter. He has basically no stamina left. So this is like Link's stamina wheel from the game, but it's basically gonna be like just this tiny little sliver of stamina left. And you have the glider, so you can glide, but you're only gonna be able to glide for another like 2 seconds, and you're not close to this. So how do you do it? How do you make it there without, you know, like falling to your death? Because if you use your gliding stuff, you know, if you use that up, then you're not going to be able to glide, and then you just fall to your death basically. But if you don't use it, you know, if you wait until the last second before you hit the ground, you're not going to make it far enough forward to hit the castle. That's sort of like one of the struggles in the game, right? Is that, you know, you're how do you use your stamina when you're you know, that close? Now this is actually something that happens in Tears of the Kingdom, but ordinarily in Tears of the Kingdom, there's basically just nothing you can do in this scenario. I mean, except unless you have like a food, you could eat it that gives you more stamina, or a potion or something that gives you more stamina. But if you don't have one, you're out of luck, right? You just have to, like, in this situation, let yourself drop until you get close to the ground, and then use your last bit of stamina to survive. But in this case, we're going to give Link a few possibilities that he can use. For one thing, one of these little, like, platforms that, you know, falls out of the sky is also falling. And, you know, Link can use that. You know, he can, like, maybe land on it. So additionally, he's got this fish. This is Fish the Fish. This is originally from Chomper Production, or Kurt's paper computer game, Zelda game, so that's a reference to that. It is supposed to be sort of like a version of the Windfish from Link's Awakening, but regardless, it's a fish flying through the sky, and basically it's just an ordinary fish, except that it, like, this is like an ordinary fish-sized fish, and it's just sort of like flying through the sky. And basically, like, you can talk to this fish, and, you know, it'll sort of want to talk about its dreams, but if you ask it for help, it'll be like, ooh, I don't know what I can do, I'm just a fish. So one thing you can do is talk to the fish. It might be able to offer you some, like, good sort of tutorial type advice, but also sort of the secret is, what the player doesn't know, is that if you talk to the fish, and if you get it talking about its dreams, because it is sort of a windfish, it might inadvertently produce a gust of wind that'll blow you closer to the castle. The other thing you can do is you can use this chunk somehow. So because this is a Tears of the Kingdom game, you do have the abilities that Link has in Tears of the Kingdom, like you can use Magic Hand or the time reversal stuff. So if you could get onto this, you know, falling chunk, you could maybe cause it to reverse time, and while it's doing that, you can, like, stand there and recover your stamina. So that's another thing you can do. So there's multiple ways to solve this paper computer game. There's not only one way, but I thought this would be like a sort of a fun challenge to sort of like just use whatever you have. This is sort of like just a very basic version of this idea. I would like to see somebody else flesh this out some more and like make another similar, you know, PCG challenge where like Link in Tears of the Kingdom has to, you know, fall and like use what is around him, but there's like different things that are around him. There's a lot of different possible versions you could make of this. And, you know, as always, as with any of my paper computer games, feel free to use any of my characters' stories, any of my puzzle ideas, or, you know, like, feel free to remake this game in different ways. Just feel free to use anything from this in any way that you would like. I would love to see what you guys come up with. I think that would be really cool. But yeah, that's my new Zelda Tears of the Kingdom paper computer game. I thought it was a fun idea, and I thought I'd show it to you real quick. So yeah, that's all I've got to say for right now. That is Zelda Tears of the Kingdom The Fall. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'd love to hear all that. And thanks so much for watching. You folks are the best as always, and PCG you later.